What have you noticed about kind of the way that they play on offense?
As far as that O-line, they're bigger guys. They're all over like 6'7", over 320 pounds. So they're, when you stop and start with them, like they can't keep up. Is what I'm trying to say. They don't have good feet. They're bigger guys. They want to. It's almost the same situation, but they're bigger than Stanford. They just want to get in like a kind of a wrestling match. So we just use our hands and use our feet to work out to our advantage. It's what things I've noticed with the O-line.
They got different kind of quarterbacks. You got one guy seems more mobile,
Right.
more likely to run.
Right, the other one has a knee brace. He's been having issues. I believe it's 7 is the one that's mobile, and then 5 is. So yeah, there's been things with that, but either way, I don't. Yeah, it's the same thing. We gotta beat the man in front of us first, and then we can get on to the next.
And then Villanova obviously off of last week, talking to Coach Henderson, not letting him in the end zone, but defensively, getting that performance, how do you guys just keep building on that?
Staying consistent in what we do and what we know works. You know what I mean? That's really the foundation of how you keep building on that kind of success. You know what I mean? Keeping them out the end zone. That's really it.
You guys, getting better. Maybe it seems like run fit, stopping the run in general. It's a pretty decent game against Stanford. What do you think is allowing you guys to be able to do that?
Those things that I mentioned, using our hands, getting our feet in the right places, playing with low pad level, all of those things is what is helping us stand in our gap integrity, things we spoke on the last time. Those are the things that we're starting to do and really starting to understand as a room as a whole. We still having finishing issues. I left one out there, you know what I mean? So I got to be better even myself. I'm still getting back into it, getting my legs back. But to answer your question, yeah.
So do you think between that, Donnie kind of getting more aggressive the back end, guys, covering effectively, that you guys are potentially poised for a big breakout game?
Against Colorado? Like a shutout kind of game, that's what you're looking for?
I mean, just like
like 0 points and no touchdowns last week.
Maybe your best game. Maybe your best game.
Yeah, as far as me?
Defensively.
Yeah. I would hope if we keep stacking, like getting away from what we know, like I said, and the technique and everything that we do. But, yeah.
I wasn't trying to put you into a gotta get a shutout.
I was like, last week was pretty nice.
Right.
Omar, when we talked to Joe over the bye week, he said taking sack angles was a pretty big emphasis for the just DNs as a unit.
Right.
And what about for the interior line? Taking those sack angles, you think it's been a pretty big emphasis for you guys?
Yeah, with our technique and the things that we do, the things that we're getting smarter at that are helping us to get into those, because it's like you got to know the situation is what I'm trying to say. Because 1st and 10, you're probably not gonna get like a pass. You got to be ready for the rundowns, get your feet down and shit like that. 3rd and 8. Now you can kind of get off the ball. Let's go. It's time to roll. So it's almost like situational awareness that will help you get down on those angles and actually rush.
So just like the context of the play.
Yeah.
When you guys are in the film room, that's been full emphasis for.
That's important to getting down on the rushes, because we all have the ability and everything, but we're just out of place to be able to get on those good angles and rush, because whatever situation, you didn't know the situation you were in, you know what I mean?
So it's all about putting yourself in the best position
To win.
before
The snap even starts, to win. Mentally and like actually in your technique, like where you line up. Mentally and where you lining up in the right spot to set you up for success. Yeah.
Have you sort of seen the game plan evolve? It feels like you guys have been much more aggressive in the past couple of games at least. In terms of Donnie, does it feel like he's trusting you guys more with new things, new tasks perhaps, to really give some opposing offenses different looks?
New task. It hasn't really. Nothing's really changed. It's just getting back to what we know, who we knew we were, and who we really are. You know what I mean? So we're just getting back to that. Honestly, it hasn't been anything really new. There's been a couple new plays here and there, but it's really just the same thing. Everything's been the same. We're just harping on getting to the ball, running to the ball, just doing everything right, doing your job. You know what I mean? All the same things that's always been preached. we're just working on getting back to those basic things.
Nah, I didn't expect it to call, but when he called it, I knew it was my job. If I got the certain formation, that it was basically my job to go get the sack and basically change the game and give my offense a chance to win the game.
When you say if you get a certain formation, walk us through kind of.
It's kind of like when he basically gave out the play call to us. It was kind of like certain formations. I basically get a 2x2 set, I basically tell the safety to go, and if it's a 3x1 set and the single receiver is near the right tackle, I basically go. We basically check it to the corner blitz, and so that's basically the formation that we got. So we call it corner blitz. Basically, when the snap go, I went. It was a free sack, basically. Nobody blocked me.
Does it happen too fast for you to even be like thinking in the moment, or?
Yeah, it honestly, like my eyes got super big because no one blocked me. I didn't expect to come that free, so when it happened, I was like, dang, I'm about to get a sack. And it just happened. I don't know.
Jordan said he was a little surprised on the call. Were you surprised too when it came
Yeah,
in?
because I thought we was going to kind of play like a man coverage because we were basically, it was 3rd and, I think, 12. So I kind of thought he was going to call man coverage and try to get off the field to basically get the offense another chance. But when he called the corner blitz, I was like, dang, he calling it. Got to go. So that's basically what happened.
What do you think about that aggressiveness, just in general, like game on the line, and Donnie trusts you with just sending you after the quarterback?
I'm glad the coaches have trusted me to believe that I can go sack the quarterback because, it's all about trust. If you don't trust the players and I don't trust the coaches, then this just won't never happen. We won't basically have a good relationship and we won't win games or get close to winning games, I guess you could say that.
You locked up a lot of routes, including against bigger guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, how did that feel?
It felt good, because I haven't really got a lot of playing time since the first game, kind of coming off injury. So it was kind of good to actually get a lot of snaps and get acclimated again. And I felt good, getting targeted because I want to build my stats up so I look good, basically.
And then how's the defense? I mean, obviously keeping out of the end zone's huge, but like Coach Henderson talked about being more aggressive. But after a performance like that, though, how does the defense keep building and taking?
We basically kind of see what we didn't do that good and just kind of basically just take the extra step in by basically being consistent. That's basically what we want to do, try to be consistent.
What does Colorado do, like with their offensive style?
They basically do a lot of stuff basically, but they tend to use end over a lot, and that's basically when like all the receivers are basically all the strong side go to one side, and that's basically what they like to do a lot. But they also like to go deep, do all go meshes, all that type of stuff.
What about the different quarterbacks that you may have to face?
We're kind of preparing for all the quarterbacks because we don't know who's going to start, but I think we'll do a good job of whoever's out there playing for them at quarterback.
What was the sort of performance as a whole in the secondary? Pretty across the board, played well after a game against Washington where you guys made improvements as well. How is it sort of just stacking games, improving week to week?
We're basically just, like I said, we're kind of like in our DB room, we honestly do a lot of extra work kind of with each other and kind of just see that we kind of, I would say, basically critique each other and kind of help each other and kind of help each other see what we do good and what they do good and kind of collide it together, try to become one good unit.
Who sort of initiated, I guess, that sort of
I would say everybody. It's not one person. It's kind of all of us just wanting to get better as a unit.
And in terms of the aggressiveness, we've sort of talked about it a lot, but does it feel like Donnie just, he feels more comfortable?
Cat coverage, yeah. That's what he kind of call it. It's cat coverage. We kind of feel comfortable man-to-man. It kind of, when he calls man-to-man coverages, it kind of, I guess you could say, help the corners play fast because they know got my man. Wherever he go, I got him. So I guess that can kind of say it helps slows down the game for everyone basically slows down the game for everyone.
So it's safe to say, you like
I
playing
like
man
playing,
a lot better.
I like playing man a lot because it takes out the thinking of the game. And that's how most corners get paid, covering their man.
Right.
So
Y'all recording already?
Got the light on you and everything.
Oh, bet. All right.
So you got what you wanted, right? You wanted to play more man coverage. You wanted to, be mixing it up more with the bigger receivers, and you delivered. You guys got a lot of passes defended, and they did scoring touchdowns. So what do you say about that?
I mean, I feel like we just found our identity as a defensive group on the back end. I feel like we just found our identity. We found something that worked for us, and we're sticking to that. So I feel like we just got to continue to do what worked for us, regardless of what the opponent doing.
Did it feel like that you proved something to Donnie?
Did I prove something, or just the
Not
back
you,
end period?
The team.
I mean,
That if you play that way, that it works effectively for you guys.
I wouldn't say that like we impressed him or something like that, because I mean, I feel like he know that we could have played man from the jump, but as a D coordinator, you got things that you want to do and what you feel like work. So when you calling plays to your secondary skill sets, when what they can do, what they do well, I mean, you see the results.
The aggressiveness obviously worked.
Yeah, we got to be the most physical team. Most physical team always win.
Kind of seemed like a dream matchup for you against, kind of receivers that can challenge you in the length department, are taller. You think you did a pretty good job defending the catch point and all that?
Most definitely. I mean, when it come down to receivers and different sizes and different skill sets, the bigger guys, it's always a good matchup. But yeah, it was a good matchup. I feel like I did good. I played good. I played well. Executed the plays. Did my job well. So yeah, that was good.
You think you almost had that pick when the ball was kind of like at his hip?
I mean, yeah, I feel like if I was just split second early.
Yeah.
Like a split second early. But I was in man coverage. I couldn't look back at the quarterback. I had to look at him. So I'm watching him to see when the ball came. So I'm just reacting on him. For real.
How's the defense build? Obviously, solid performance like that, but all three levels. But how do you guys build off that going into Colorado?
Just continue to dominate each day. Take it one day at a time, and don't get too big, don't get too small. Just stay level, and just continue to, strive for greater. Dominate each day.
How does Colorado's offense differ from Stanford or other teams that you've played?
Colorado, I mean, they like to run the ball more. They run the ball more. They throw it too, don't get me wrong. They got some big guys on the outside. They like to throw the ball at them, jump ball for them to use their side. But I feel like they run the ball more than they pass. So, we just expecting the boys just going to end up play football.
We asked Kyle something similar. How much input, week to week, do the players have? He said you want to play man coverage, right? I mean, have you talked with any of the coaches at any point before the Stanford game to just say, hey, maybe try this out or anything like that?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm the player, they the coach. I mean, I can say, Coach, I feel like this will work better.
Mm-hmm.
But this who's been doing this for the past 10, 15 years, I mean, come on, what it look like? Even though I could be right, but still, I mean, I feel like they open to what we got to say. I do feel like they open to it. I ain't gonna say they just give us a dead ear, but I mean, we can say, Coach, I feel like this might work towards this, and they be like, all right, we'll see what it look like. So, but to answer your question, do we have an input on the whole game plan? No, we don't have an input on the whole game plan, but certain calls and certain plays to certain formations, we be like, all right, Coach, I think we do this. Because, at the end of the day, they know we the ones who got to go out there and play anyway. So, yeah.
How much of it is Sean's personality versus Herm's personality or style? Because he's talked a lot about being more aggressive on offense and defense in recent weeks. So do you think that it is him sort of putting his own personal stamp on the team has contributed to you guys playing in different ways?
I mean, you got two different guys who run the program two different ways. So, I mean, things going to be different. Coach going to lead it the way he feel like the program need to be ran. And he did come, he came in a little different, just trying to, set that standard and see what we lacked at and what we need to improve on. And, I feel like that all played into him just laying down his stamp.
Ed talked about sort of the culture in the DB room, at least, so accountability, holding each other accountable, talking about what each other's strengths are, weaknesses. I mean, when did that really start? Was that sort of like from the get-go, or did that sort of get implemented along the way?
That kind of came along the way because, like I said in the previous interview, like we got a lot of new players, and so like we was all still learning to play with each other, and so like if I don't really know you, I don't know how you will feel if I just came down on you like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. You feel me? Like, we had to learn each other, play with each other just so we can be able to hold each other accountable and nobody take it personal. So, like, us changing the culture in the DB room, like, that's where it started from, accountability. Like, I hold you accountable, you hold me accountable. Like, I ain't getting my feelings about you getting on me, you ain't getting your feelings about me getting on you. So we making each other better in a way. So, yeah, I feel like that changed in the culture. I mean, that changed in the DB room because, like, that's what it needed. Like, it needed a change, and that's where it started from. It's going to start with us.
Has that sort of been something that's led to you guys' improved performances?
I honestly feel like that's something that played a big part in it, just simply because, like, it brought us more together. Like, we more as a team, we more as a DB group. Like, we all on one accord on the back end.
You think the pass rush too, which hit home 4 times last game, helped you guys out there, like on your islands?
Oh yeah, most definitely. When you in man coverage and the pass rush get there, come on now, make my job easy. Yeah, the pass rush, they did good. They gave us some breaks.
You gonna allow me to get your number called for a corner blitz now?
Huh?
You gonna allow me to get your number called for a corner blitz?
I always want to go in there and hit the quarterback, but I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting. When the time comes, it's gonna be right. Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and smack the quarterback. Oh yeah.
Were you surprised that Ed got that call in that situation?
I wasn't surprised. I mean, I ain't gonna tell y'all the whole play, but I wasn't surprised that he got the call. Like, you feel me? Like, it came from his side, and he made a hell of a play. Like, there was a play that needed to be made at the time.
How's it going, Corey?
Pretty good. You? How you doing?
How's the defense meshing this week after a pretty solid performance at Stanford? Obviously, you kept him out of the end zone, but Jordan told us it's a never bend, never break mentality after the game. Is that something you guys have been emphasizing?
Yeah, definitely. What JC said, correct. But yeah, we've had a great week of practice. We're just trying to stack the days and just keep pushing and getting better and just keep stacking.
I'd like to go yesterday. Obviously, Jackson not letting anybody in the end zone is huge, but where does the defense go from there? How do you grow from a performance like that?
Just learning from the mistakes. A couple of times I feel like we could have stopped them from getting points, like field goals. So really just learning to capitalize on those moments when we can stop them from getting the first down, or just advancing the play and getting in field goal range. But I mean, just gotta limit the mistakes and just play together like we were and just keep playing.
Where do you feel like that you collectively got better in that game?
I feel like it's just been keeping stacking our days. I think, we've had a breakthrough these last couple games, and we just been preaching on just running to the ball and effort to the ball and getting 11 hands to the ball. And when you do that, good things happen a lot of the times. And everybody's just doing their 1-11, then we playing together and playing hard.
Do you think kind of like the style, press coverage, eliminating kind of those big plays over the top has really helped you guys?
When you can run man and not give up deep plays, and it doesn't give momentum to the offense. So anytime you don't give up a big ball or a big play, it helps a lot.
Corey, how can you carry that over into Colorado? Obviously, Stanford, pretty weak offense, but Colorado is also sort of on that level. Obviously, you guys are preparing for everyone sort of the same, but what's sort of the game plan with them?
I wouldn't say there's no weak offenses. All these dudes is all Division I athletes, so there's no offense in this conference is weak. But I mean, preparing for them, we just got to do our job and play our game. I think if we do that, then we gonna be all right.
What have you noticed about their style of playing?
We got a big RPO team. A lot of teams we play are similar. A lot of concepts, and they're probably gonna attack us with a lot of stuff we've been hit this year. But I mean, really, we just gotta play our job. Everybody do their job and play their coverage, and then we're gonna be fine.
They've had some shaky quarterback play this year, and it looks like Owen McCown might not be available this weekend. How have you guys prepared for both JT Shrout and him? What have you sort of seen contrasting in styles between the two?
Yeah, obviously one's left-handed and one's right-handed, and you know, they both can run, but I think the lefty's a little more mobile. But both good quarterbacks and can both air the ball out. So yeah, I mean, we prepare as if whoever we don't really know who they're gonna go with. We think it might be Shrout, but I mean, if 7 goes, then we prepare for him. But I mean, it doesn't really change our game plan on how we're gonna play.
From a play calling standpoint, does it feel like you guys are really getting more comfortable with the basics or maybe the groundwork and are basically allowing yourselves to like build off of that and do some different things?
Yeah, I think, you know, right now we're just at that point in the season where everybody's just trusting each other and playing hard. And yeah, we're just out there having fun. That's what it's about.